I'm Mario, and today we are going to cook a boned-in pork chop in the Ninja Foodi air fryer oven. Stick around. So here is my pork chop. It's a thin pork chop, and as I've mentioned in the past, something lean like this pork chop here, I do like to spray a little extra virgin olive oil, so I am going to do that right now. Now I only have one pork chop, so I'm only going to be using the Ninja Foodi in this case. So, and the reason why I chose the Ninja Foodi is it seems that it does a better job with the meats, and I've come to like it a little bit over the Cuisinart for a couple of reasons. Now for seasoning, this is my home blend of pink Himalayan salt, ground pepper, granulated garlic, some ground cayenne red pepper, and some smoked paprika. So I am going to stick some of that on there. And when I say some, I mean a lot, because that's just the way I like it. One thing I have learned is my tastes have changed, especially going on the diet. I've experimented more with spicier things, and in the past I wasn't able to do spicy. Now, as I've said before, I'm going to put a little bit of spices on the plastic here, and that's going to allow me to kind of get everything on the side here. So now we're nice and good. I've already preheated the Ninja, so it is going happily right now. And I have all three ovens set up because I got some other videos that I'm not going to do live, that I will post those once I edit them. I need some new tongs here. And I'm going to put this on top. Nice sizzle. And I'm going to set myself a reminder for 4 minutes, because I honestly think that 4 minutes is probably going to be good enough per side. So for those of you who haven't seen some of my other latest videos, I had the teaser, of course, for the 3 ovens. Well, the 2 ovens and another air fryer, which I haven't unboxed the other air fryer yet. I've done the chicken wings, the burgers, which were not so successful, somewhat due to my fault, I guess. We then did the flanken steaks, which came out really good. And then after that, I did something else, which is escaping me at the very moment, but I assure you I did something else. Now I'm wondering what that was. But in any case, now I'm doing the pork chop. I only had one pork chop on hand, as mentioned, so I'm going to cook that up. Usually I wrap them 3 per package, so I have one, my wife and my daughter. However, there was an extra one in the package, so that's what we have here today. And if someone begs really hard, maybe I'll throw a steak in the Ninja as well during this broadcast. So some of the questions have come up, whether on the live chat or people asking individually. Someone said that, and I take criticism, sometimes good, sometimes not so good, but they said that these were overpriced pieces of junk, and that the Power XL oven could be had for $140. Okay, so today the Power XL oven could be had for $140. So let's talk about that. The GoWISE USA air fryer oven, when it first came out, the 12.7 quart, it was like $220 with accessories. Now you can get it between $120 and $140. So he said $140 for the Power XL oven. So on par. The Power XL oven I see in my local stores is $140. However, it's got mechanical knobs. It's not digital. The Ninja, $180. And arguably the build quality of the Ninja and how it was thought out, with the exception of the capacity, is better than the Power XL from what I saw. And then you have the Cuisinart, which was $200, which I definitely think is overpriced. I think the build quality could be better. I think that they could have thought it out a little better with the crumb tray and so forth. So, just checking the timer, so that's where I come up with that. So, I agree with them. The newer Power XL, I believe, is on par with the new GoWISE USA air fryer oven. I had reached out to GoWISE and they didn't respond. They have sponsored me once in the past, but I'm not sure why they don't reply now. Maybe it's because maybe my videos aren't professional enough. Maybe it's because I'm too honest about my reviews, and if I don't like something about it, I am going to tell you, and I believe I do that to the best of my ability. So there you have that. Now, I did reach out kind of to Gourmet as well to see if they would respond. They did not, but you know, that's okay. They're not, nobody's required to sponsor me. Maybe they don't like my honesty. I don't know. So that's where we stand with that. What else we got? So I got some other things I'm going to be cooking in the oven. However, I like the pork chop. I didn't have enough. I am going to torture a ribeye steak. Now, typically my ribeye steaks, I will pan sear in butter and then throw them in the oven. So I'll have to decide if I'm going to do pan sear and throw it in the air fryer ovens, or just all in the air fryer ovens, or maybe I'll do one of each just to see how it turns out. So right now this is beeping, so I am going to take a look to see if it's ready to flip. These thin pork chops without the bone, typically I can get away with 8 minutes, but since this has a bone, that is usually not the case. So this is still going. That's going to take longer than I anticipated. And typically pork chops is about 400. I did 370. It's 400. If it's thin with the bone, I'll do 370. So this is going to take a little while longer than I had hoped anyway. So you're going to hear a lot of mumbling from me in this video. What else? So I've been looking at a couple of other items, new items to hopefully soon showcase as far as appliances, similar to what you see here. The brands, I'm looking at one particular brand which I have used before in the past. I'm trying not to give away true information because where's the fun in that? And I'm hoping that at some point I can have more consistency in my videos. I know I did about 6 or 7 this past 2 weeks, and I'm hoping to at least put out a video a week with something new. Now I will repeat some of the old foods I've cooked if it's a new appliance. So if I get another new air fryer from one of those vendors, I will cook and compare with something else I have. So while that's going, what else do I have for you? Nothing new. Ran just short of 15 kilometers yesterday, 9.35 miles. I should have ran the full 10. I wasn't thinking at the time. My surgery area has been giving me some pains lately, and I don't know why, but that seems to be something I gotta talk to my doctor about, because that should not be the case. And what else do I have from you? I'm running out of things to say because I figured by now that this thing would want to be flipped. That's it. We're going to take another look at this pork chop here. It's almost time to flip. It's not getting any sear marks from that wire tray, I guess you call it. I'm not using the air fryer basket because I don't think it's necessary. I am going to pump up the heat a little bit because in the regular air fryer I typically would do 400 for the pork chops, 370 depending if it's without bone, but I'm with or without bone, depending if it's with or without bone. I'm going to pump this up to 420 because, as usual, the Ninja does need more heat. Other things that I'm working on, just picked up a bunch of meats. Someone asked me about doing something more vegetarian, so I'm going to get back and do some of those. I think I'll be doing some sort of squash type fries. However, since I don't do breadcrumbs anymore, it's going to be a little more creative. Probably do something like a cheese covering, or pork rinds, or some people, believe it or not, sounds strange, but they're making mixes with protein powders, which is a similar consistency to flour. However, protein powder, that unflavored stuff, or flavored for that matter, is very expensive. So it's not something that I'm just going to cook up a couple dozen chicken wings in, because it's will start to become cost prohibitive in that manner. Some of the other powders I have here is a peanut butter powder, as well as I call it cinnamon toast crunch. That's really good for breakfast type foods if you want that kind of a thing in there. So as of right now, I am actually now going to turn this pork chop over. Now when it's cold out, I always pan fry the pork chops. The problem I have with pan frying it is it starts to curl up. Now that may not look like it needs to be flipped, but again, since there's no grill marks or pan marks, it's hard to tell. I'm going to guess this is probably at about 100 degrees or so right now. It's actually higher, it's at about 120. Pork is one of those things you definitely want to make sure it's cooked to its fullest. The pork I would normally cook up to about 145. Since it's got the bone, I will cook it a little higher, because as I mentioned before, with that bone in there, you want to make sure that meat around the bone is cooked, because it takes longer to heat up. At least that is my experience. Excuse me. You can hear it sizzling away a little bit in there. A little bit of my thoughts up till now on these ovens, and I will put them in the window. Sort of a recap, rehash. I'm going to set the timer here just so I don't forget. My stance on these still holds true. You got 200, 180, although now this is up to 190 at BJ's. It was 180 a few weeks ago, and that goes from 120 to 140. This oven is impressive because of its size and its versatility. It can cook larger things in. I'm not happy about the pan on the bottom, and yesterday the timer just stopped by itself. I don't know if I accidentally paused the timer, but the heat was on. The Ninja is a pretty good product. However, I don't consider it an air fryer, as I had said, because it has the fan coming from the side, and it does not give you true air fryer capabilities for that matter. But it has done probably one of the better jobs of all these of cooking the food more the way I like it. The GoWISE, even though it's 12.7 quarts, if you use both shelves, it has a very large capacity. I only use one shelf. It is the smallest device. It takes up less room because of it's narrow, but it's a true air fryer. Plus, it will cook, a bird, and it has a rotisserie. So for me, the rotisserie, even though I don't use it often, is actually a pretty good deal, simply because, we do kebabs once in a while, especially during the winter, can't go out, and my wife really likes those. I'll cut up some onions and green peppers, red peppers, whatever I may have, and put them on there. And I've done both chicken and beef. I want to, someone asked me, they said, how about doing wings on the rotisserie? Just put the skewers through them. And I might do that as well, but in order to get them to do it right, I'll have to get the wings, cut off that little useless part on the end, and then cut the wings in half so I can spear them all through so it can actually rotate properly. And you'll only be able to use every other skewer. So I am going to do that. So this now has been in there for about 7 minutes. I'm going to take a quick look to see what the temperature may be. Sometimes I should really use the utensils. That's what they're here for. This now is at 140 and climbing, 141. So again, with the air fryer, the regular air fryer, I've been able to do these in 8-9 minutes simply because they're usually a little thinner. This is a little bit thicker and it's got the bone in it, so typically it's going to take a little bit longer. I'm going to get ahead of myself, grab a plate and also a knife. Should have had those out beforehand. And I think the weight of this pork chop was, with the bone, was like 9.8 ounces. Yes, I am going to weigh my food because that's what I do. I'm hoping to get a video finished up tonight, and with any luck, I'll publish it tomorrow or the day after. If you have any suggestions for certain types of foods, let me know. and depending what I can get a hold of for foods, I will do that. I do plan on reshooting the burger video because I don't believe I did it well enough the first time, and I don't mean cook the food well enough, I just mean that kind of a couple of unexpected things, the way these performed towards each other. So I'll give this another few seconds here. I'm going to recheck the temperature, and I know I keep opening the door and heat's going to escape and all that kind of stuff, yada yada yada. I see people who are popping off and on. If you want to wave and say hello and say hi, that's great. One other thing I noticed about the Ninja is that crumb tray, it warps. When you have that in there, you'll see it start to flex and warp and pop when the temperature gets high. Okay. This pork chop has reached temperature. So there we go. I'm going to hit the power button on there. Take this pork chop out. Let's see what it looks like on the other side as well. So there's our pork chop right there. Close this up. It definitely does have some heat to it because of the must have got some of the extras in there. So we got cooked. This is about 8.4 ounces with bone. The dog is waiting for me to drop some food. Let's get this cut. We do have some fat on the edge, so I might, that's part of the bone there. I didn't even notice that. So we'll cut that off. Oh, another piece of bone. Doesn't happen too often. Sorry for the squeakiness. See, and I'm not happy with the way that cooked, even though that's at 150 degrees. It looks like it could have cooked a little longer. Let me take this out of this. Actually, it might have been just that one piece. This looks fairly cooked. There's still tons of juices coming out of here. That could have been the piece again. That was near the bone. Very tasty though. And it is cooked. There must have been just that one part near that edge of the bone. And I'm looking at it. There you go. Let me show you, just so you don't think I'm fibbing to you. That is, well, dripping juice off all over the place on the floor and on my watch, but it is cooked. Anyway, folks, that's really all I got for you right now. I just want to fill the void. My daughter's home from school today, so I just got finished cooking for something for her in the air fryer as well for our first lunch of the school year, remote school year. I hope to have another video out to you soon, a regular video, edited video, because this is about 3 minutes of video here for 20 minutes of recording. So anyway, folks, if you like this video, again, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like it, give it a thumbs down and tell me why you don't like it. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care. And the air fryer, unplug it, you know. Well, except for the Ninja. It wants to cool down first, so I'm going to let the Ninja cool down before I do it.